Hey guys, how's it going? Justin here with Keystone Mountain Outdoors. Welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, what I want to talk to you guys about is the most accurate gun that I own. Now, before we get into that, I have a little story to tell you guys. So I've always been more of a run and gun style shooter. I participated in USPSA for a number of years. I've kind of laid off since the ammunition crisis and all that stuff because of COVID has happened. It's just kind of hard to get ammunition and it's super expensive these days. However, even before then, I joined this new gun range, and one of the prerequisites to joining this gun range was that I had to participate in a couple classes and do a couple things. And one of the classes I participated in, I forget what it was called, I think it was like NRA High Power or something. But these guys were shooting precision ARs out to a couple hundred yards from various different positions. And while, I thought the class was all right, I didn't end up getting into it. One of the things that it kind of led me to do was put together a precision AR. Now, I've been somebody who's killed like a lot of groundhogs over my life. Varmint hunting is pretty big where I'm from. My family owns a lot of property and has a lot of farms in the western Pennsylvania area. And one of the invasive species that we have around here is groundhogs. They absolutely dig up and destroy fields. Not as bad as hogs do in Texas, but they're still kind of an invasive species around here. And I've been hunting groundhogs ever since I was about 7 years old. There's no limit on them. It's just kind of one of those things where kill them, get rid of them, all that stuff. And over the course of my life, no exaggeration, I've probably killed 1,000 groundhogs. And a good chunk of those I've killed with bolt action rifles, but I've also killed a lot with semi-automatic rifles. And the rifle that I've kind of been gravitating towards lately, at least the last 10 years or so, has been ARs. ARs make for pretty damn good groundhog guns. 223s, relatively cheap to shoot, not so much these days, but still it's a lot cheaper to shoot than 308 or 243 or any of the deer calibers that a lot of guys use to kill them. So with that said, it kind of made sense for me to put together a precision gun. Now, put together is kind of weird. I bought an upper and slapped it on a lower that I built, which we're going to talk about. So the most accurate gun that I own is my White Oak Armarment SPR. This is a 20-inch AR-15. It's chambered in 223 Wild, which if you're not familiar with that, that's basically a variation of a 223 5.56 chambering. They claim that it gives you a little bit more accuracy. I don't know if that's true or not. I do know that this gun shoots phenomenal though, and I have a couple other guns chambered in 223 Wild that seem to shoot pretty good as well, but those guns are more set up for like close range stuff. So this gun is a 223 Wild chambered rifle. It has a heavier profile barrel, and it has a 14.5-inch M-LOK rail on it, which is pretty nice. I do have this gun on a lower that I built. This is a Aero Precision lower. It has a B5 Systems SOT mod stock, a B5 Systems grip, and then I have a ALG trigger in here. But I used to run this upper on a lower that I had. It was actually a Palmetto State Armory lower that I had a CMC trigger in. So I do probably got to get a CMC or a Geisley trigger for this gun, but a lot of the times that I've shot this gun has been with that Palmetto lower. I recently just put this together, so this upper had a permanent lower to go on. But this gun is a phenomenal gun. As far as optics, I have a Night Force SHV. This is the 4-14 first focal plane. So this isn't like a super expensive scope, but it's a relatively expensive scope, like $1,500 or so. It is a cheaper Night Force, but it's a Night Force. It's still a $1,500 scope, and it seems to work pretty good. I've had this gun for about a year and a half now. So I've had it for a while, and a lot of the reason why I haven't done a video on it is just because I've never really done videos on stuff like this on my channel as far as like precision stuff. I'm not really a precision guy, but due to the whole COVID thing and due to joining the gun range and stuff like that, I decided to focus a little bit more on the precision stuff. Prior to the whole COVID stuff, it was nothing for me to go out and burn through 1,000 rounds of rifle ammunition in a month. That was not a big deal to me before. I actually used to factor into my budget $300-400 for a case of Wolf Gold every month. But ever since the COVID stuff and the ammunition prices and everything like that, I've really kind of dialed back on my shooting, and I've tried to focus on whenever I go out to the range to get the most out of my ammunition. So if I'm going out there doing plinking drills, I try to maximize it. Instead of dumping 10 rounds on a target, I'll dump 2 or 3 in transition. And the same can be said for doing this kind of stuff, shooting precision stuff. Instead of going out and just blowing through a lot of rounds doing run and gun stuff, I could sit at the range and I could focus on my accuracy portion. And I can honestly say, ever since I focused on doing bench rest shooting and focused on trigger control and all that stuff, it's only made me better at doing the target transitions, the run and gun, all that stuff. which is a tremendous asset, I think. So it's a positive out of a negative situation that I'm able to take. But this gun, getting to the point as far as why it's the most accurate gun that I own. So hand loading for this gun, I have a load dialed up. I'm not really going to get into the loads because some people get weird about that stuff. But I'm shooting 69 grain Rocky Mountain reloading bullets. They're basically kind of a hybrid variation of a Sierra Match King. The RMR are a lot cheaper to shoot. I shoot those 69 grains with Varget powder and Winchester small rifle primers, and I'm able to get 3/8-inch 5-shot groups with this gun at 100 yards. So an AR-15 that shoots 3/8-inch 5-shot groups at 100 yards. I think that's absolutely phenomenal. Now, I do have some bolt action guns that loaded with hand loads. They shoot about 3/8 too. But the thing that impresses me is that this is a semi-automatic gun. So usually, at least in my opinion, from my experiences, semi-automatic guns don't really generally come as close to bolt action guns in terms of accuracy. And I know somebody's bound to say that they have a bolt action gun that shoots 1/4-inch MOA, and I totally believe you. Some of those F-class guys shoot phenomenal groups. But for me, from what I shoot, I think this is phenomenal. For a gas gun to shoot 3/8-inch 5-shot groups, that is tremendous. And that's not something that I've went out to the range and it's only done it once. That's something that I can repeatedly go out to the range and do. Just about any day that I go out to the range, as long as I practice my fundamentals and I'm on top of my game, this gun is well capable of doing that 3/8-inch groups. I've even got a little bit lower, but consistently it's about 3/8-inch just about every time I go out. So that really impresses me. So like I said, White Oak Armarment SPR upper, and then I have a Aero Precision lower that I built for this gun. But in terms of cost, so we'll kind of break it down. This upper is about a $700 upper receiver, and that is with a bolt carrier group and a charging handle. The charging handle that they send you is just a generic charging handle. I kind of threw that away. I forget what I have on here. This is like a Warhammer or something like that. I don't know. This is like a $50 charging handle that I got on sale from, I believe, Brownells about 6-7 months ago or something like that. But I upgraded the charging handle from the factory. Like I said, factory one was garbage. And then I put together the lower. I'd say all in all, building this lower, I probably have, I don't know, maybe $200-300 in it probably. Let's just say $300. So $700 for the upper receiver, about $300 to build a lower receiver. So I'm into this gun about $1,000. Now I do have about a $1,400 optic on here, this Nightforce 4-14 SHV. I did buy this used. I want to say I gave the dude like $1,100 or $1,000 for it or something. It's been over a year, so my memory's kind of vague as far as that goes. But let's just call it a $1,000 optic, and then I got about a $100 bipod on here. So all in all, I guess total I have about $2,000 into this gun, and then I pretty much always run a suppressor on here. You'll see right now I have a 1/2x28 flash hider on here. That's just simply because I got the Bren and I had to steal the suppressor mount off of this to go on my Bren a while back, and I still haven't replaced it. I haven't shot this gun in a couple of months, so I completely forgot to buy another Dead Air Xeno suppressor mount, but I got to get one of those for this gun again. So all in all, about $2,200 or so into this gun, and it shoots incredible. Now, I haven't shot a lot of factory ammunition through this gun just simply because factory ammunition is kind of hard to get. Most of the factory ammunition that I have is like Wolf Gold, and I have some Federal, American Eagle, and stuff like that. I don't have any really high-end 223 factory ammunition, so I can't really say, but like I said, with my hand loads dialed in, with Varget powder and the 69 grain bullets, this thing shoots 3/8-inch 5-shot group all day, which is super impressive in my honest opinion. So guys, I would love to hear your thoughts on this gun. Are you interested in this? One thing that I should mention, I got to give props to a guy out there. His name's Johnny's Reloading Bench. I'm sure you guys have seen or heard of him if you guys are into reloading. He actually inspired me to get this. He had one of these. I think his was an 18-inch barrel. But he kind of inspired me to get this because he had tremendous results out of his as well. Guys, I would love to hear your thoughts. What do you guys have that shoots phenomenal? Do you guys have any gas guns that are shooting under 1/2 MOA? I would love to hear the whole story behind the stuff that you guys have as well. Also, I would love to hear you guys' thoughts. Is there anything that you would change on this gun? Would you go with a different scope? Would you go with a different stock? What trigger would you go with? I would love to hear you guys' feedback and what you think about this gun. Guys, as always, remember to train hard, shoot fast, and most importantly, be safe. God bless.